Welcome to Little Goat Campers. My name's Chris and this is a handover of one of our Alpine camper vans. First, an introduction to the keys. There are two keys with these vans. The main key, which is for operating the cab, it has three buttons: unlocking the cab, unlocking the living space, and also locking the van. You can lock the van when you're inside the van at night, but always remember to open it before you open the door, otherwise you'll set off the alarm. All our vans have an alarm and tracker system, so I'll get a phone call if the alarm goes off. Don't worry about it, we'll make sure you are all safe. This key is for the living space of the van. It operates several of the useful things we're going to see today: electrics, gas, those kind of cupboards on the outside. I'll show you how to use those shortly. Let's start with all of the cupboards on the outside of the van, starting with the fuel. Okay, fuel cap is behind this flap. You've got a diesel cap, which is a normal unlocked with a cab key. Okay, just as you would normally, and also the AdBlue filler cap, which just turns off. Okay. Please return the camper full with diesel. It's full at the outset. Please return full of diesel. Moving along, the next flap is the toilet cassette. It's really easy to use. You just turn the key to unlock, press both buttons, lift up, and it's magnetic, fixes up to the side of the van. Okay. The toilet cassette uses a chemical toilet. You can pull it out and empty it in a chemical toilet on a campsite. To remove the cassette, just lift up the blue flap and pull the cassette out. Okay, slide straight out. To empty the cassette, you turn the flap, undo the cap, and empty the contents down the toilet. We always recommend that you flush with water and then put the chemicals in. So remove the cover, open the flap. Okay, you put 2 litres of water in, swish it around, empty it out with that, and then put 2 litres of water in and required measure of the green fluid, which I'll show you shortly. When you're finished, you close the cap, close the vent, make sure it's that way on, and slide it back in place, and it clips in place. That's easy. We provide you with chemicals for the toilet cartridge. You need 75 ml of the green chemicals for every full cassette, along with 2 litres of water to mix, and that dissolves everything down. And when you remove the cassette, if you need to, it has a handle, so you can pull it along like a suitcase. Hold the handle back, close the flap, and lock the hatch. When you first get to the campsite, when you're on your pitch, one of the first things you want to do is to connect the electrics. On this van, electric socket is behind this flap. In the gas cupboard in the back of the camper is an electrical cable. Cable's kept in the gas cupboard. You'll find all your essential items there. You unravel the cable. The end with the cover goes into the socket in the van. Always connect the van first. So if you open the flap, slide the flap in the top, and you will feel it clip in place. There will be a post on your campsite pitch with an electrical connection. Usually tells you which pitch has which one. You open the flap and connect. In this case, we're connected to an outside electrical socket. Mostly it will be a post that you just push the cap in. The electrical cable needs to be spread out, don't leave it coiled, but you can spread it out and slide it under the van, out the way, so that people don't trip on it. And then turn the power on. When you come to leave the pitch, turn the power off, unclip the power from the connection first, open the flap, press down this blue lever and remove the electrical socket, roll it back up and put it back in the gas cupboard. The heating in this van runs on gas. There are two gas canisters stored in this gas cupboard. Okay. When you're travelling, leave the gas turned off. When you arrive to site, you simply turn the gas on with a knob on top of the gas canister. Each van has two gas canisters. The one connected will be full, usually will last you for the period of your trip. If it's not, then you'll have to change the gas canister. To change the gas canister, first you turn off the gas. This one's turned. Undo the clips that hold it in place in transit. So unclip the back, the new canister which is at the rear. In the rear of this van there is the space for two beds. This is a lower one. We can put a second bed in if necessary. Storage space underneath contains a table and the chairs for outside dining. This gas cupboard contains all of the tools, water pipe, etc. If you want to carry bicycles, you can. The centre part comes out, you can slip at the top, carry bicycles underneath. Also, you'll find in the garage area the triangle reflective vest, toolkit, all the things you need when you're on the road. Also in the garage you've got a light. In the bed area you've got speakers either side for the stereo system. You've got power sockets, you've got USB charging point, a light for the LED strip, storage pockets for your magazines and things, and a shelf on the top. The ladder for the bed I'll show you inside is hidden there. This van carries 100 litres of fresh water and 90 litres of wastewater. The fresh water is filled up here. On the campsites you visit, you will find a motorhome or camper van service facility. They'll have a water top-up point and a drain valve. We carry a hose pipe which is stored in the garage. It's on a reel. You need to unroll that, connect that end to the tap and use this end to connect. So you can fill the water. Once it's filled to the very top, you can replace the cap and lock it. To empty the wastewater tank, park over the grate at the camper maintenance point as you leave the campsite and open this lever. So turn it down and any wastewater will drain out. When it's drained out, close it again and you can go on your way. If you want to use the awning, you'll find the stick for unwinding it in the garage. It's got a clip on the end. Put that into the awning and turn anti-clockwise. You need to stiffen the awning and also bring the legs down. So to bring the legs down, you can pull the leg back and release it. Okay, get it to the height you want. Bring the leg, bring the clip out, bring the leg down, move the clip back up. There's also a stiffening arm. You have a plate on the bottom and put your pegs in. The leg is adjustable when the clip is in that position. When you've got the height you need, just close the clip. And now do the same on the other side. Fiat Ducato cab, fairly standard on these motorhomes. You get a 6-speed manual gearbox, swivel seats, full steering wheel where you can control the telephone, audio, etc. USB points in the centre for charging your phone, holder for telephone, nav, iPads, whatever you want to hold there. You've also got stereo radio and ability to play from your devices with speakers in the front and the rear. And probably the most important thing for people to know is the position of the handbrake on all the motorhomes or camper vans is here. So now we'll do an introduction to the inside of the Alpine camper van. So first, the electronic control panel and the heating controls. So the electronic control panel is here. It has 6 settings. This is the on button, turns on the power for the van. The camper has 2 batteries, one for the cab and a second one for the living accommodation. That one will last typically 3 days without being connected to electricity. When this light is on, you're connected to the electricity on the site with the hookup. The 240 volt sockets are usable. Otherwise, without electric hookup, you've got a 12 volt battery supply. Buttons around the side show you different levels. So this one at the top shows you how much battery you've got left on the van living accommodation battery. That one's at 3/4. This one shows you how much battery charge you've got for the van itself, for starting the van. This one shows you how much fresh water you have. In this van we don't have very much at the moment. Typically with fresh water you want to travel with the tank at around 20%, which is what that's set at, and fill the van when you get to site. This switch turns the power on and off. This switch turns on the water pump, which is needed to operate the water for the sink and the shower. Okay, so for the bathroom and the kitchen. So turn that off when you're not travelling. We move to the heating system. So this control is for hot water and heating. Okay, if you want hot water you can turn it to 40 degrees or you can turn it to 60 degrees. If you want heating only you can turn it to the first flame, and moving this dial turns the temperature up or down. What I would advise is that you turn it to the 4th setting, which is for 60 degrees of hot water and for heating, and then you can turn the heating on. So the heating now is on level 4, and that will give you heating and water. When you finished at the site, you turn the heating off before you set for travel, turn the switch back to 0, turn the electric off in the back of the van and turn the gas off. And when you arrive at site, turn the gas on first so that the boiler has gas before you turn the heating on. So the kitchen has 2 sections, the gas hob with 2 rings. You turn on the gas hob, turn the tap and press the starter. Bathroom, so to use the toilet, to operate the toilet you open the toilet valve to the cartridge by sliding this handle forward, and when you've finished remember to slide it back. It prevents any smells coming into the van. When you finish you can flush the toilet with this blue button. To wash your hands use the tap as normal. If you want to use the shower you pull the tap away from the holder and use it as a shower. There's a curtain supplied to line the whole of the shower cubicle. Unhook the shower from the holders, and then these clips connect like this all the way around. There's a gap for you to walk through here. There's a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide alarm in each van. When you're set up on site you will want to swivel the 2 chairs to face the table. It's easily done. You pull this clip and swivel the chair. Okay, better to keep the arms out of the way when swiveling and then put them back down when you want to use the chair. To return the chair to its original position, swivel it all the way around until it clicks into position. And the same with the driver's seat. We're now going to fit the blinds for nighttime use of the camper. The blinds are kept in this storage compartment above the cab. Okay, first I'll do the door blinds. There's a press stud to connect. and then a magnetic tab to go around the door, and then you can close the door. The front blind fixes with 3 press studs on each side. The top section is secured by the sun visor. And then finally secured with 3 press studs. 1, 2, 3. Windows and doors all have blinds and fly screens, so to close the blind, pull it down and allow it back up, and if you want the fly screen, just pull down the second blind till it clips to the bottom.